How's it going, my RWBY friends? Another week upon us, and with that week brings, of course, what you are here for, tuning into this video for, RWBY Rewind. Alright, I tried to make that one extra epic, guys, because, you know, we're going to be on that hiatus coming up for the holidays. So let's really enjoy this RWBY Rewind preview. With that said, there wasn't really that much going on in this preview, guys. In this video, I will be discussing the preview, telling you what occurred in it. So if you don't want to get a minor spoiler for the next chapter, don't watch this video. But it's really not a big deal, to be honest. It's kind of funny saying that, because this Rewind preview is actually one of the longest previews that we've ever gotten. But the substance is what matters, and the substance wasn't really there. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying it wasn't a good preview. I'm just saying that there wasn't really that much going on. Literally, it was just Team Junior walking with Saffron through Argus. So you had Jean, Nora, and Ren walking through Argus. It looks like it's nighttime, trying to find Oscar, and you have Saffron there as well, trying to figure out what exactly is going on. So let me break it down for you guys in more detail here. So Junior and Saffron are out in Argus looking for Oscar. Jean says it is all his fault and that he overreacted. So we got to give Jean some points here. You know, I will definitely call Jean out on his BS when I need to. This was a scene that he actually did something esteemable, so I will give him credit. He admitted that he overreacted and that it was his fault that Oscar left. Now, at the end of the day, Oscar makes his own decisions. It's not like Jean literally forced him to leave, but he did overreact, and he definitely kind of scared Oscar out, or maybe not scared Oscar, but Oscar wanted to get some fresh air, something like that, you know? So it's cool that Jean is owning up to that. Saffron says that she is still confused. She doesn't really understand what happened. Nora says it's difficult to talk about, and then Saffron replies saying, I know, top secret and all that, implying that Team Junior or Jean did tell Saffron that they can't really talk about the mission that they're on right now. So it's just kind of ironic, right? You know, you have Jean hating on Ozpin for hiding secrets, yet he is willingly admitting that he's hiding secrets from his older sister. I think that's what they're getting at anyways. It's supposed to be ironic. So, I don't know, man. Anyways, Jean then says Oscar didn't do anything wrong, just that they got new info and their mission will be a lot harder than they think. So again, I got to give Jean some credit here. It's nice that he emphasizes that Oscar did nothing wrong and he overreacted and all that stuff. And he's very vague about these answers, saying that they got new information, but not telling Saffron what it is, because again, we have that irony. Jean and other people don't like Ozpin hiding secrets from them, but these people are also hiding secrets from people, so it's a very cool moral area here going on in the show. Very hypocritical on some characters. Jean, in this circumstance, not sharing the info with his sister, but being mad at Ozpin for hiding secrets. Yang in Volume 5 for, well, Volume 6, she's also mad. But the point is, Volume 5, she didn't tell anyone about Raven being the Spring Maiden. But she's mad at Ozpin for hiding secrets, but she's hiding a huge secret. Things like that just added a level of irony that makes it interesting to the viewer. Now, let me get a sip of coffee, guys, because that was a hefty few sentences right there. I know it's not like a Weiss emblem, but it's Christmassy. It's making me think of like Weiss, Schnee, and stuff. Bro, look at this coffee, guys. It's literally up there. It's up there, guys. I can't even turn it much more. It's going to fall out. Anyways, moving back to RWBY. So Ren says that after that he thinks that they are all just unsure of what they can do now. Saffron continues to try and motivate Team Junior, continues to try to, you know, tell them, basically, she says, I'm sure you're not the only one on this mission if it's so important, and you'll have help and stuff like that. And that's true. I mean, not as many people are on this mission as she would think, probably because it's not really a public mission. It's something that only Ozpin and the people close to him know about. But she's not wrong. Team RWBY is there, Crow's there, Maria's on this mission now somewhat. And there are other people involved like Ironwood and Glinda and those kind of people that are in the know, so to speak. But Jean doesn't really get motivated by Saffron's words. He says, it's not that simple. And then Saffron leaves. She says she needs to go pick up Adrian from daycare, and she will let Tara know what's going on, and implies that she'll see them later. So, also kind of funny here, RWBY in this episode of RWBY Rewind, after this clip played, they made fun of Jean. Actually, RWBY literally said like, oh, here we go having Jean push more people away. So they actually threw some shade at Jean. That's not even my words. That's literally what, I forget who on RWBY said that. It wasn't Miles. Miles was there today. Interesting that they had Miles, the voice of Jean, with a Jean-intensive clip. It was a nice little bit of flavor. And there's also some really cool stuff I want to talk about that occurred in RWBY Rewind that wasn't a part of this preview, but stuff that Miles confirmed. So we're going to get into some really cool theories in a second. But I just want to mention, there is some hilarious animation errors in this RWBY Rewind preview, guys. So if you watch the RWBY Rewind preview, or if you just watch the chapter when it comes out, keep in mind to look for these animation errors because it's pretty hilarious. At the end of the RWBY Rewind clip, you have people in the background literally phasing through buildings and like walking, like they're supposed to be walking on the street, but then they're like phasing through objects. It looks freaking trippy, guys. So just keep an eye out for those animation errors because it's pretty funny to see, honestly. And now we'll move on to the part about the reveals that Miles told us. So in RWBY Rewind, if you're not familiar with it, there is a segment called the Lightning Round where they interview someone from RWBY. RWBY interviews someone from RWBY. In this case, it was Miles being interviewed, and they asked them a bunch of questions really quick. Some of the questions that Miles were asked were ones I didn't think he would answer, and he answered them very vaguely, but it's going to give us some really cool theory fuel right now, guys. So, starting with the first one, which is not really theory fuel, but it's some cool information. So, Miles confirmed the name of Maria Calavera's weapons. Life and Death are the name of her weapons. Life and Death. I think it's a cool name, I guess. I mean, I don't know. It's a little bit, like, cliche. Kind of like the same problem I had with Crow's weapon being named Harbinger. I don't know. It's very cliche. You know, a lot of fantasy weapons are named, like, Harbinger or something. And I think it tries to sound a little bit too cool. Same with Maria's weapons, a little bit, I don't know, it sounds like it's trying a little bit too much to sound cool, like life and death. But I guess it's not, like, it would be worse if it was like death and destruction or something like that. That'd be even like more cliche and kind of like lame, right? So the life part kind of counteracts the death part. Miles' reasoning for this was that the life weapon needs to take life from Grimm in order to protect life from, you know, to protect life of humanity and stuff like that. And then the death one's self-explanatory. You need death to protect people. So that's what Miles said about that one, basically. But now the really cool thing, two other things he confirmed that is going to be good theory fuel is that Miles confirmed that we will know Mercury's semblance at some point, guys. That's something we've all been wondering since literally like Volume 2, especially Volume 3 when we actually had like Mercury fighting in the final tournament. We're all wondering what his semblance is. Is it like, it must be involved with those mini tornadoes he makes and controls the wind in a way, something like that. But none of us really know what his semblance is for sure. So it's dope that we are actually going to get more information on Mercury's semblance at some point. That's confirmed by Miles today, guys. Now at some point, that doesn't mean this volume, it doesn't even mean next volume, it just means at some point we'll get confirmation about Mercury's semblance and we'll know what it is and all that kind of stuff. So leave me your comments below, guys. What do you think Mercury's semblance is? Let's get some predictions going on for that. Do you think it's wind manipulation? Do you think it's more than that? Do you think that the wind manipulation kind of stuff he did was actually just dust? We've seen dust used in unique ways now, especially with Maria Calavera. So perhaps it's some combination of dust or something like that. Or perhaps it is a semblance. And, you know, even if it is a semblance, it doesn't mean it's wind manipulation. It could be specific. Could be something else specifically that's completely different than wind manipulation, because a lot of the stuff Mercury does is not related to wind manipulation, honestly. Wind manipulation would give him a lot of powers that he doesn't seem to have. A lot more than just doing the little tornado attack thing. And I say little, but it brings a pretty big and awesome attack, to be fair to Mercury. But yeah, let's get some theories in the comments about Mercury's semblance, guys. And then, the final thing I want to talk about regarding something that Miles confirmed in this RWBY Rewind episode was he confirmed that Kevin, the Grim Wyvern, or Grim Dragon, frozen on top of Beacon, will actually be taken care of at some point. So, he answered these very vaguely, but I'm surprised he even answered them. A lot of times he'll just skip over spoiler questions or give like a completely silly answer. So it's nice that he actually confirmed these two things about Mercury and the Grim Wyvern. So, I mean, yo, if the Grim Wyvern's going to get taken care of at some point, that means we'll obviously have some screen time back at Beacon Academy, which we haven't had in, well, I don't even know, man. I think Volume 4? Did we even see Beacon in Volume 4? I'm trying to remember. Like, when Port and Oobleck were at Ty's house on Patch, I think they were just there talking. Like, I don't even think we got any sort of cutscene to Beacon or anything like that. I'm trying to remember. Yeah, I think the last we had of Beacon was literally at the end of Volume 3 when we saw, like, Salem giving her monologue and, like, it showed a bunch of Grim swarming Beacon, and she wanted to, like, fortify the Grim presence there to ensure it didn't get taken back. And yeah, no Volume 4. I don't think we really saw it in Volume 5 at all, and we haven't seen it in Volume 6. So yeah, dude, I don't think we've seen Beacon in like 3 years or more. So it'll be definitely nice to get back to Beacon at some point and see how they're gonna deal with the freaking giant grim dragon up there. Maybe they can chop it up and use it for materials, rebuilding the city. That seems pretty legit to me. I mean, the thing is turned into stone, right? And the city's in ruins. Why not chop it up and use that stone to rebuild the city? That makes perfect sense, man. That makes perfect sense. You'll save materials, and you'll net a little profit from the freaking Grim that attacked your city. Dude, that would be a good way of actually, like, getting stone. Like, bro, why didn't any kingdom think of this? Now, dude, if I was in Remnant, I would be the greatest kingdom ruler after Ozpin. Of course, Ozpin would be above me, but I would be the next best one. Dude, I would have people, I'd get a bunch of people together, bro, and we would have like the military officials slap them one by one, like have them stand in a line and just slap the people and make them have negativity. Then you're gonna get all this grim approaching, and then what we're gonna do is we're gonna have a silver-eyed warrior conveniently there, and then they're gonna use their silver eyes, turn all the grim to stone, and then we're gonna have the people we just slapped, the peasants or whatever, we'll have them chop up the stone grim and mason it into a bunch of buildings and stuff like that. Bro, we will be the richest kingdom because it's not even going to cost us resources. We'll literally get free resources from the Grim. And we're going to have a crazy huge kingdom. Actually, that kind of reminds me of Attack on Titan a little bit. Oh, that might be a spoiler for Attack on Titan. But yo, that actually does remind me of it now I think about it. Like the Titans turning into stone. The Grim. Oh my god. I'm really onto something here, guys. I think my idea is cooler than the Attack on Titan one, though. Because the Attack on Titan one is limited by the amount of people that can turn into Titans or whatever. And this idea with the Grim, it's not limited, dude. There's like almost an unlimited supply of Grim. So that means unlimited stone. And yeah, okay. So I think I got a sick idea. I'm going to move on from that, though. Actually, that's the last bullet point I had, though. That's right. We talked about the Maria weapons names. We talked about the Miles confirmation that we'll know more about Merc Semblance at some point. And we talked about the Grim Wyvern. And now this freaking kingdom I want to make. As well as talking about everything in RWBY Rewind. So on that note, I'm going to take a sip of coffee and try to remember if there's any last things I want to talk about before we close out this video, my friends. One more. All right, delicious. Love that stuff. Let me give a shout out to all the patrons, guys. I appreciate your support. We've had an increasing amount of patrons on Patreon. Thank you guys so much for the support. I really appreciate it, and I will do my best to give you guys quality content on Patreon and on YouTube, of course. And if you can't support on Patreon, just leaving a thumbs up helps a lot, guys, and turning on the notification bell. I've been doing a lot of awesome streams lately. I know we get a good turnout on the RWBY streams, but I've been doing a lot of cool IRL streams as well. If you don't know what that's about, basically, just tune in and see. But let me just say I'm doing what I can to better the community in my area, and you'll see what that means if you tune in. Have notifications on, because when the stream goes live, you'll know through the notification bell. The subscription button alone doesn't work so great nowadays, guys. You got to have that bell on as well. And then on the same note of Patreon, if you do want to do a little bit more to support the channel besides hitting that thumbs up button, besides hitting that notification bell and tuning in, consider donating on Patreon. Link down below to become a sponsor on Patreon. Check that out. Lots of cool perks for you as well. And the last thing I want to say, guys, you know, if you can't support on Patreon and you thumbs up the videos and stuff like that, just talking in the comments is awesome as well. I love having discussions going on there. And if you see my comments, feel free to reply and give them a thumbs up in the comment section as well, guys. Like any sort of stuff like that does help the algorithm, does help me out. So, you know, there's ways of helping out the community, even without donating directly. But of course, you know, monetary help as well is much appreciated. I do have bills to pay and all that. So don't take the wrong idea. I definitely appreciate the help either way, you know, monetary or not. With that said, guys, I'm going to end this RWBY update video. I'll see you very soon for another RWBY video, and I'll catch you in that one. Peace.